Hey, welcome to this segment. Today we're going to talk about ground blinds, but before we do, don't forget to subscribe down here in the lower. Click on the bell so you'll be notified of links, and take a moment and smash that like button. Now, before we get started, I also want to take and give a big shout out to Zone for Justice, a young man from up north that's getting into hunting, and also to AJ Davis. AJ, thanks for putting me in for the drawing for the free hat. I guess we'll hear sooner or later who won. Okay, so let's get on the topic of ground blinds. Now, ground blinds and hunting out of ground blinds is becoming more and more popular, especially if you bow hunt turkeys. So we're going to go over a few things. I've talked to a few people and just different things. I decided to do this tips video. First thing, when you get a ground blind, I always take like this one and other ones. I get them out of bed. First thing you want to do is you want to read the directions. I don't care how many ground blinds you've hunted out of, you will find that different ones have different ways to set them up and things like that. But what you want to do is you want to get that ground blind out. I suggest, especially if you're going to be putting it up a lot of times in the dark, that you just practice putting it up, taking it down, putting it up, taking it down. That'll do two things. One, it's going to get you used to doing it. Number two, it's going to help loosen those rods and everything up a little bit to make it a little bit easier on you when you do it, or when you're actually out hunting and that and you need to get it open, especially if you're like me and you run late a lot of times, so you're trying to hurry and get everything done. So practice that. The next thing you want to do, especially if it's a brand new ground blind, or even if it's been stowed away for a year, what I always do is I always take mine out, I open them up and I let them air out. I open up the doors, I open up all the windows and that. That's also a good thing to do at the end of the season, especially if you've hunted like I did this past turkey season, had a lot of wet, moist weather. So that's why this is in my garage. The only reason that we're filming here today is because we do have some wind, and I got a lot of neighbors that are mowing. I was going to do it in the backyard, but neighbors are mowing, and I was going to go out to a spot in the country, but the wind going, I think we'd hear a lot of wind. But like I was getting at, air it out at the end of the season, take it in somewhere dry, open it up, open everything up. It's also a good idea if you're going to store it back to take the bag that it was in. Take that bag and air that bag out. You'll be surprised moisture will get in that bag from the blind and stuff like that. That's also the time after the end of the season, so when I go around, I look for any damage that might be to my blind so I can hurry up and get it fixed back up. So let's go out to the field and we'll talk about the rest of the tips. Okay, well, once you've figured out how to set your blind up, or you've got used to opening and closing it, you've aired it out, when you go to the field hunting turkeys, I find it's best to kind of tuck it in with whatever's around. Over the years, I have taken blinds and put them up out right in the middle of the field. And when I did that, it seemed like the turkeys hung up at like 20, 30 yards or even more. I don't know why. When I started taking my blinds and going more towards the woods with them, and as you can see like I've done here, tucking it in, just kind of pushing it back in cover a little bit, birds started coming closer and I was able to harvest them. So that's something you might want to think about. Really, when it comes to deer hunting, you're really going to want to cover this in. If I was hunting out of this for deer, I would have brush all along the front of it. I'd have brush on top of it, and things like that. So, because deer are a lot more jumpier and that. So we're going to head in the blind and talk a little bit about it. Okay, well, now that we're in the blind, I want you to see, as you can see, it's important to match the surroundings of your blinds. Now, most blinds are going to be black. That's why you want to wear a black or dark colored face mask, a black shirt, and if you can, a black hat. Now, really your pants don't matter that much, but I like to wear either a dark color, I wear a dark colored camouflage, or a black pair of pants. Another neat thing to wear, which I don't have on today, is a military BDU shirt. What I like about them is they have pockets, so if you really want to try to go lightweight, you can put your calls in the pockets. Now, if you notice my hat's a gray, a dark gray, and you see the white up there, what I did is to help keep that white out, because turkeys can really see. So to help dull that out, is I just took and put some mud on my hat. Now you could take a marker, or maybe just wear a hat that don't have anything on at all. Secondly, you want to look at the way you got your bow hung. or what you do with your bow. Now mine, as you can see here, is suspended from the roof, and what I have is I have a what's called a strap hook, and I'll put the link in the bottom here to the company. What that is a hook that's on a strap, and I've got that going over the rod up there on the roof of the blind, and it allows me to just keep my bow right here, and as you can see I can pick it up, bring it off, so it's super handy. Plus it's out of the way, gives me more floor space. Sorry. So this is just, another thing too, is the chair you sit in. I didn't think about that. Try to get a chair that you're comfortable in, and you want to try to get a dark color chair. Now here's the nice thing about it. If you get it, a lot of times, you can get the chairs that are made for ground blind hunting. The thing about it I found with those is they're kind of heavy, and they're going to hit your wallet pretty good too. Now I'm using an old camp chair that I've had for years, and it's a dark green. Let's say you can't find a dark green or a dark colored chair and you end up with a red one or something like that. You can always go over into where they keep the towels at, or even better, go over to where they have sheets at and buy you a dark sheet. Black sheet, brown one, something like that. Also, a big thing is make sure you have gloves on, and stuff, and because turkeys, when you're holding your bow at full draw, you don't want them seeing that white hand. Another big thing to think about too is to take and think about how you're going to do when you go to draw your bow. Because if you're standing straight out like this, your broadhead is going to be closer to the window, which is going to expose it to more light. Now, if a turkey can see a broadhead kind of bouncing as you're coming to full draw, that could spook the bird. A lot of times what I like to do is I will draw my bow this way and then swing around this way to my window. That way he doesn't see me draw, doesn't see the broadhead out there. It's still more back here towards the back. You have to excuse me, I've been up early, and we are on a hunt while I'm filming this. I figured this was the best time to do it, is while I'm actually hunting. But as you can see, by wearing the mask, it does put you in there a lot, or you match up a lot more. You're not going to stop all the light. You're going to have light that gets in. One of the big things, though, however, sometimes I want to look out the back of my blind here. I don't want to just take and open up one of these windows, because when I open up that window, that is going to silhouette me from this side. And if there's a turkey out here in the field that I don't see, well, guess what? He's going to spot me, and that just works vice versa too. That if I open up this window with having this open, then any wild game over here is going to see me too. So if you're going to open a window up on the opposite side of your shooting window, close that shooting window up first, then open this window up. Look out. The size of your shooting window. I notice a lot of guys, I ain't going to say no, a lot of guys, but some people like to take and they have them real wide. Well, the wider you get that shooting window, the more light you're letting into that blind. So what I like to do is I like to keep in mind to where when I come to full draw, the top of my sight is at the top of my window, and that way I know that I've got enough arrow clearance on the bottom part of my window when I go to shoot. So these are just some of the things that you're going to need to think about. And one thing I do suggest is the chair that you're going to hunt in, take some time, go out, sit in that chair, and shoot from that chair. And it's also not a bad idea just to take sometimes, if you shoot in your backyard or wherever, take your blind out, set it up, get that chair, and sit there and just practice shooting. Because one of the things you'll find is how far you've got to be around, because you don't want to come drawn back and hit this wall. You can hear how much noise that makes, especially when you're getting ready to take a turkey or whatever. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this segment. Please take a moment, hit that subscribe button, and smash the like button. And if you want to be notified of our next videos coming out, make sure you click on the bell. I urge you to please take a few minutes and comment. Questions, comments, concerns, whatever. The only way I can get better and help you more is if you let me know what it is you want me to do. So until next time, as always, God bless and good hunting.